How many of you are ready for a Sunday fun day? You know, it's weird. I do these videos all the time and I feel like you're with me right as I'm doing the video. I feel like you're all there. That's good. That's really good. Because I like each and every one of you people. I like your comments. I like your thoughts. I like everything you write in. You know, I was asking about the fenders on my car. I would say a good 80% of you love the fenders. 20% said I would change this and I would change that. And that's what I like, because you said, hey Rick, why don't you think of this? Why don't you do that? And I like it because there was no attitude. There was no like, oh, those are fucking disgusting, man. You all had good thoughts. And I look at those thoughts and I think about it. You know, I mean, that's what it is. At the end of the day, I'm going to build what I want to build, just like you're going to build what you want to build because it's your car. The fenders are still, I worked on them a little bit. Got them a little more cut, got them a little more tweaked. I don't know whether I'll be able to run them all the time. I definitely know I can't run them with my slicks. I'm putting slicks on the back of the car. They're almost 31 inches high. Will not fit the fenders on there. But I'm going to run big and littles too. And they will work with the fenders there. So like I said, the fenders are just something that's optional. But I love the fact that you guys write in and you're all good about it. Just all good about it. Anyway, so you're ready for the new Sunday Fun Day project, right? Hell yeah, here we go. Here it is. Da-dum. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum. It's my Model A frame. What do you think it was going to be? Did you think it was going to be something cool? It's just a plain old 32 frame. An original 32 frame from back in the day. Nothing fancy about that. Come on, you can go buy 32 frame rails at your corner store, right? That's what most people do. Anyway, I'm just fucking with you. I'm going to be working on my frame rails today. Got some holes I got to weld up. Got some shit I got to do. Fenders are over here I was working on. Had to do lots of pie cuts. Got to finish all that up. As you can see, cut to get it bent the right way. Oh, wait a minute. The body's missing. Where the hell did the body go? Oh, well, we better go look for... Oh, and the engine's sitting over there, half-ass. We better go find the body. We better go find the body and see what's going on there. I'm in such a good mood. It's sunny. It's Sunday. There's no rain. It was sunny and beautiful yesterday. What a day yesterday. It was a wonderful day yesterday. My wife took me out for this thing called virtual golf. I don't fucking golf. Do I look like I golf? But I'll tell you what golfers do that I like to do. They drink. They drink, and they drink beer. They drink rum. They drink whatever. So I was all in. And trust me, it wasn't good. But I did hit the ball occasionally. And I had a wonderful time doing it. Because that's what life is about, having fun, doing something different. Virtual golf, went into a room, they gave you a real putter, they gave you the golf clubs, you batted the balls on a screen, and you played golf, 18 holes. And guess where I got? Guess where old Rick got on 18 holes after 2 hours? I made it to the 5th hole. I'm doing pretty good, eh? But it's circuit building hot rods. Anyway, here's the Model A. As we can see, Sean has started stripping her down. There's some of the old body filler from the day, but she's solid. Hey, think about this, 1931, come on. I'll tell you one thing, I went to lift this son of a bitch off the frame, thinking, you know, I can just pick this up and lift it. I mean, I pick up that Volkswagen Bug over there and lift it around, thinking, oh, I can pick this up. Oh my God. No. With all the bracing and the metal I put in there, I could not move that sucker. I mean, I lifted it, but I couldn't get it off. Ended up having to use the hoist and all sorts of shit, but I got her down. So Sean's working away there. He's got the doors roughed in for body work. He's got the beautiful lines. He pins them up on the cars. He works on them too. You know, he just dropped the pins in. He's making sure everything's lining up. Just loving it. Just loving it. But with that being said, I promised you there was a new project. This isn't it. Come on. I'm a man of my word. Well, some people may disagree, but those are people that I don't like anyway. I'm a man of my word. If I said I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something. This is not a new project, folks. It's just not. This is a project that I said I would have done for last summer. Some of you that are watching probably know what I'm talking about. I said I have it done for last summer. Shit happens. I did start on the car several years ago. At the end of this video, there's going to be a link showing the original video to this car, okay? So please click on the original link, or maybe I'll attach it in here somehow. I don't know. But anyway, I started on the car, started buying stuff, got the front end taken off it, started doing the body work on it, and then shit in life just happened. And, you know, and then, you know, there was some other stuff. Some people are writing to me on personal emails, which wasn't too bright because I had their emails and their names. So I'm like, why would you do that? Now you left proofs behind. It's one thing to say something to me and then deny it, but it's another thing to actually write me an email like an idiot. And anyway, they were saying, oh, well, you know, you should do it this way, you should do it that way. But these are people that never offer to help or supply any of their own money. You know, they all got their own thoughts, and their thoughts just don't mean nothing to me. Anyway, what it is, for those that you don't know, I want you to pay close attention. I want you to look up Cort Elliot's 51 Chevy Custom. That car is about, I can't say, okay, the Harahata Merc, okay? For British Columbia and Canada, this Cort Elliot's car, this 51 Chevy, for us, it's like that Merc is for you. Look it up. Look up Cort Elliot's 51 Chevy. It'll come up everywhere. Look up Jack Williams. Study the history on Jack Williams. I want to know if you studied it, but write something into me that you learned by studying this shit. But anyway, I'm back on the car. I never did stop. I stopped on the car, but I kept buying parts. I kept having shit chromed. Even though people don't believe me, I've got a shitload of stuff here. I even got the paint here. That's right, I got the paint. The correct color paint that it's going to go. So, we're back on the car. August 27th, or is it 24th? Don't matter. Look it up. Go on Harrison event list. I believe it's the 27th. Mission Raceways is having the one and only lifetime history, Canadian history, British Columbia hot rod history car show. They're going to try and bring out every single history hot rod car that ever existed from 50s, 60s, 40s, all of it. And the one main focal point, and I hate to say it because I know that some people watch this video and say, well, my car's part of it, and you're all part of it. But we can't deny it. The one main focal point is Cort Elliot's Carried Away 51 Chevy. Let's take a look at her right now. You've all seen her sitting in the background many a times. We are talking about a 51 Chevy two-door sedan, chopped, Packard taillights, 56 Chevy rear bumper, custom interior. It's even had the tunnel raised up inside. It has still got the original upholstery from last time it was showing. I believe it was 68. You can see how they raised the tunnel up to clear for the clear from the dry shaft in there. No, the trunk has not been pancaked. The trunk is original, even though it looks like some people say that they pancaked the trunk. They didn't. This car was in all the hot rod magazines in 1963 and 4. It won Top 10 Custom, Northwest Top 10 Custom. This car went to all the car shows, Portland show, the Oakland Roadster show. It went to all of them. This car was known as the car. Now, I took the front end off it 3 years ago, and we started the bodywork on the front end, and we got it in first primer. Now, this car was never, if you look at the frame and all that, they did clean the frame up at one point back in the day, but it was never that super fancy back in the day. You can see how it was just left like that. You can see if you look under the hood here, look at the old factory tar undercoating. That was just how it was shown, because back in the day, really, you didn't open hoods or trunks or doors or anything because it took away from the body lines of the car. I'm going to take it the next level up. You can see the firewall's black. I'm actually going to paint the firewall body color, but leave the inner fender satin black. This car is actually coming off the frame, and the frame is going down and getting blasted and getting all painted nice. I've got all new suspension, everything. Now, this is where I left off last time, is when I started saying stuff like this. People started telling me how I should do it and what I should do, and I should put a Mustang 2 front end in it, and I should put disc brakes on it, and I should put vintage air on it. To you guys out there, you're losers. It's a history car. You don't start changing that stuff. So, please, if you're going to say that, just leave your opinions to yourself. Every piece of chrome that was on this car down below, I've had done. Done, finished, over. I just ordered the correct tires. I was just on the phone with Cort Elliot and had him look at the tires, and I said, which ones are they? And he told me, and I ordered them. Tires are on the way. Wheels are blasted in the back shop, ready for paint. Front bumper has been re-chromed. Headlight doors have been re-chromed. Packard taillights, I've got an extra set. They've been re-chromed. Like I say, chrome along here has been redone. Chrome that goes back here has been redone. They're probably like, what are you talking about? I don't see any chrome on there. This car is just such history, it's unbelievable. And I'm going to show it to you right now. The last color it sported, though, in 1968 was this. This is a Corvette color. It came out 1968. Corvette came out with this green. and they paint it this green. And what I mean about, now this was a top 10 winning car everywhere. And what I mean about how they were never 100% perfect, if you look, I don't know if you can see this, look how the paint's just flaking off in the jams and that. Like, look at the rubbers. This is a rubber. It's all got green paint and blue paint and shit all over it. They were never done like they were today. Today cars are taken over the top. They weren't then. This car is all, no body filler. This car is all done in lead. And there's not a rust mark on it anywhere. It's still sporting all the original lead. Let's go in here and let's look. Let's take a look. Let's start with this, if you don't believe me. What do we got? Carcraft, 1963. I'm not going to read it to you, but look. Carried away, and there she is. There she is in all her glory. Let's move on. What happened here? We've got Carcraft, 1964. There she is again in all her glory. Let's move on here. We got Carcraft 1962. And again, there she is. Cort Elliot still has every trophy this car won. How cool is that? There it is again. Carcraft 63. There she is again. I wasn't lying when I said to you, 1963, one of the 10 best customs, Carcraft magazine. Here's Cort Elliot, the man himself, with the car. Here is the man he's passed away, sad to say, but Jack Williams, who built this car. I want you guys to look up the Cort Elliot Coupe. I'm telling you, Jack Williams chopped the roof on that car. You ain't going to believe this, but there's photos and proof of it. He chopped the roof with a handsaw. Not one, not two, not three, but I think it was 5. But I could be wrong. I can't remember everything. I can't say I do remember everything. This is the car again. What's this say here? We lost our heart to this custom belonging to Cort Elliot of Vancouver, BC, winner of first place in the full custom 51 Chevy. Full custom 51 Chevy body has been chopped, painted burgundy pearl, uses a 56 Chevy 6-cylinder engine for power. Later in life, they did put a 265 in it. We will be having a V8 in it. Now, it originally was, let's start out here. We'll start with the black and white photos. Look at that. Look at that. Stunning, isn't it? Exhaust exited out here. White walls. Beauty rings, some pinstriping. 2-spoke spinner, which were like a Jaguar spinner. If anyone out there has got 2-spoke spinners, like Jaguar spinners, I don't know if you can see them in the photos. Anyone has got anything like that, please help me out. I'm looking for them. Here it is when it was painted. And it was a burgundy purple. Look at it. The car is timeless. And what I mean by timeless is it suited that era and it still suits today. Now after it originally was purple, then it got in a bit of an accident and they created this paint and they couldn't make it again, so it went to a bronze, which a coppery bronze or gold, which I just don't like. You look at that, it does nothing for the car. And they changed the wheels out. But that was what you did back then. You changed things around. And then Cort sold it and it went to a different guy, Bruce Metcalf, and he painted it the green. It changed hands a few times, and then Terry, my friend Terry, got it in the 70s, right when American Graffiti was coming out, and I met Terry through the Graffiti Car Club. And I couldn't believe it. I had never seen nothing like that before. I didn't know what custom cars were. I was like an 18-year-old punk in the Graffiti Car Club, and I didn't know what a custom car was. I had a Chevy 2 and a 65 Chev pickup and was working on a 55 Chevy at home. That was it. I didn't know what custom cars were. You know, and I saw this car and I was like, what is that? I fell in love with it. I don't know. I just was like, oh my God. And, you know, I mean, Terry and I just remained kind of friends through the car club world. And, you know, we're not like out there having dinner dates and all that stuff. We're just friends that talk a few times a year. And then, you know, we started hanging out more and more. And, You know, and then unfortunately, what you'll see in the first video that we're going to put up here, Terry had a stroke, and the car was always stored at my place. He trusted it with me, and Terry had a stroke, and I just decided something has to happen with this car. So I decided to take the car on. I decided to do the car, and I decided I was going to put it back. I didn't say what color I was going to go. I decided I was going to put this car back as close as I could to back to original when Cort had it. And there's certain things I won't change, like the interior you see in it now. That's the interior from when it was last shown in the late 60s. That is not the same kind of correct colors or anything that it was when Cort had it. The seats are like a bronze coppery color. These are white. I'm not going to be touching those because they're still a piece of history. But I will be repainting the inside to the colors that Cort had it, and the white will complement it. I'm not going to redo it. I'm just going to clean it up the best I can. All the car is going to get inside is a carpet kit. I'm going to have the car down at that car show. I'm going to be honest with you right now, it is not going to be 100% finished, but it'll be 70 to 75% finished. It'll have its running gear all done, it'll be painted. Excuse me. There might be a few bits of chrome that may not be on it yet. It may not get the carpeting and it may not get the pinstriping. But that's okay, I can finish it off over time. It's just, you know, you can't rush something like that. And I said I was going to take it on, and I'm taking it on. And, you know, there's only been a couple of people offered to help. One was Jeff. Jeff, I don't know if you know Pete's Pick and File. Jeff has offered to help. Awesome guy. I know all the BCHRA guys. You know who Jeff is. And if I need his help, I'm going to take him up on his offer. I don't want a bunch of people, actually. I'm a lone wolf. So you guys see how I've been working on my Model A on Sundays, and you can figure it out and you add up the time. Look what I've gotten done in that short amount of time. That car is damn near, once Sean's done the bodywork, it's getting painted. I built that car. Look how quick I built that car. I can do this car. When I work, I'm one of those guys where I work better if I'm alone than I'm with someone. I don't want to get distracted. And I don't want to get thrown off by other people's ideas. This is between, you know, myself, Cort, and Terry, and that's it. I'm not listening to anybody else. I mean, like I said, I had emails telling me how I need to put Mustang 2 suspension, and I need to put AC in it, and I need to update the whole car but leave the body alone. No, that wouldn't be the car no more. I'm sorry. And honestly, I'm not a Trailer Queen fan, but you don't want to take a car like this out every day driving either, because if something ever happened to it, you've lost a piece of history. So it's a car you want to take for a cruise occasionally, but honestly, you hate to say it, she's a bit of a Trailer Queen because of what she is. So you don't need all that power steering and disc brakes and all that bullshit, you know? But what we can do to take it a level up is Cort had never really painted in the trunk lid. He never painted the firewall. He admits that. We can paint and detail that and make it look super nice. And I discussed that with Cort too, because that would have been something he would have done. And it's Terry's car at the end of the day. And Terry always said he trusted me to be with this car. His words were he trusted me to do this car because he knew I would never change anything. I would leave it to how it was. His exact words. And Terry always says he's not the owner of the car, he's a caretaker. He's always said it'll always be Cort's car. And he's just a caretaker. And now he's looking after it. And now I'm looking after Terry by looking after his car. So that's what we're going to do here. So there's no expense to Terry. Parts, labor, it's all free. I've got it covered. It's all good. And I'm happy to do it for him. Like I said, I took a bit of a break. COVID came along too. I had to look after my shop. So I am behind with the car, but I will have it done now. So for all the naysayers out there that said, oh, Rick started out and never finished it. Well, no, I'm a man of my word. If I say I'm going to finish something, I will finish something. And I will have it at that show, and I will be sitting proudly right next to it with my Model A Coupe. Okay? So let's go see where the front end is. Here's the front end in first primer. Now I got it, you know, where the inner fenders are off it. Obviously, they've all been blasted and taken care of. Still got to do the rad support. There's your cantered lights down there. It's kind of hard to see. I've got it, you know, I've always kept this car of Terry's in dry shelter. It's never sat in the weather. It's quite dusty there, but whatever. Dust wipes off. We don't need to worry about that. So, I think the plan is here for today. That's right, for today, guys. The car's going to go back undercover, but I pulled it out because it's such a beautiful day. I'm going to start taking things apart on the car. I'm going to start taking out the interior. I'm going to start with the seats and all that, and they're going to get tucked away in my basement. And I thought, what better way than to make you guys a part of it? Originally, when I was going to do the car, I was going to keep it all a surprise and kind of document it, but never show you guys videos. But I thought this is a better way to keep you guys, because a lot of you old folks out there, they remember this car. So I was like, give them something to look forward to on a Sunday. So I want them to be a part of it. I want everybody to be a part of it. We're going to take this car apart, and we're going to take the interior out of it today, put it away nice and neat. We're not going to bother cleaning it yet, because there's no point cleaning it till it's ready to go in. You can see where someone's dyed the interior. Look at the colors. But see, we're going to leave stuff like that. Like, I'm not messing with this. I'm just going to clean it really nice. It'll clean up nice, trust me. Look at the headliner. You can see, actually, this is the copper it used to be. And then I believe when Bruce had it, Bruce Metcalf, he changed all this and went white. Because when Cort had it, it never had seats in the back. It had a tonneau cover on there. But Cort always planned on putting seats on the back. And if I also believe correctly, it had a console that ran right down the center. Now see, that is kind of stuff that I'm talking about right now I will not have done. I won't have time for it. Okay? I'll try my hardest to get a carpet kit in it. Definitely will get it all repainted inside. I did years ago, when Terry brought this car out to me, I put all new wiring in it. The body braces were gone. I did all the body braces. I did all the brakes. I did all that kind of stuff. So, but now it's time to just finish her off. And I'm going to be pulling this car off the frame. So you guys are going to all be a part of it today. You're all going to be a part of it. Down here, you can see where they filled this in. Because the 51, 52 Chevy wraps on. They didn't even do the body work. They just welded a piece of metal in. And here was a big piece of chrome. Massive piece. For years, I bugged Terry to give me that chrome and he wouldn't. And then finally, he gave it to me. And I told you, if I can get it here. Oh my God. That is actually the paint for the car. There's the headlight bezels, re-chromed. And here, Jack Williams hand-formed these himself. Dusty. There they are. Let me set that down. There they are. I had them all re-chromed. And they come along. And they go. You can see the work Jack did. He's got the cuts there so it would fit. He's just bent the edge over. That was hot rodding in the days. That was hot rodding, people. Let's see. Which one have I got in my hand here right now? I believe I got this side. Let's take a look here. Let's try this on there for size. There we are. Look at, he's got, I mean, I'm just holding it up. Right, so it goes to the bumper. Right, so it's going to come right, whoops, to the edge. There it is. Oh my God. And then we get the chrome that goes out there. I've got all that new, every bit of it. It's going to look beautiful. It's going to look beautiful. The only thing I have to re-chrome still is I have to do the back bumper. You can see that they've welded all the bolts in. And it's a 56 Chevy bumper, so I can't just go get another bumper for a 56 Chevy. I'll have to use this one because the bolt holes have been welded up. So I'm going to be taking that in probably next week or the week after. So that's good. So there we go. So this video is more talking than it is working today. I do want to work on my Model A a bit. Give you a few shots of that. But we're going to bring you along on the Cort Elliot Carried Away Chevy. We're going to bring you a part of it. You're going to be building this car. So there you go, folks. So stay tuned every Sunday. I'm going to try my hardest to keep working on this car every Sunday. I will have it at that show. You'll see a tent set up saying Old Time Garage, and that car will be sitting there next to my Model A, like I say. So let's get the hell out of this talking mode here. Let's get working on the car. Let's go get some interior out of this son of a bitch. What do we say? Here we go. Okay, guys. So I'm cleaning out the trunk here. These are all the panels I put in there. These are all your splash aprons that go up underneath from the inner fenders. Those I got to get all blasted, get the undercoating off. That's an old jack that Terry had thrown in the car. Baby Moon hubcaps there for the chromies. The chromies that are on this car are actually my wheels. I had put those on there for Terry a long time ago. Some extra headlight doors and pieces. Because you remember I just said I've already got the other ones that you saw under the bench that are all re-chromed. So I'm going to show you a quick glance of this trunk, what it was like, because no one's touched this trunk. So this is what it was like back in the day when Cort was showing it. You can see obviously the car looks like it was an original baby blue. He's got the original old speckle paint under here and all that. So it's got this old matting shit, which you can see, which is just horrible, holding moisture in. We're going to get all that scraped off of there. What I'm going to do for the car in the next level to make it a little bit better is you can see, like, look at this. This is the original baby blue paint on this trunk lid. Or whatever you want to call it. Maybe it ain't baby blue, but you know what I'm saying. See, when when Metcalf have it, Bruce, they just, you can see, they didn't even sand it. They just shot right over it with green paint, and this is what happens. It just, you see, it just flakes off. That's too bad, because right there is a piece of history for this car. You know what I mean? I might even put a couple of these in a Ziploc bag for the hell of it, right? It'd be kind of cool. But that's a piece of history. But what I'm going to do is, they didn't, obviously Cort never cared when he owned the car to paint any of this. Because it's blue, baby blue. We're going to strip all this down. We're going to make sure that we paint this to match the body on the outside. Right? In here, honestly, eventually in time, you would probably, I think, if Cort, if he's out there watching, I think probably in time, because you always upgrade your car every year, he probably would have finished this off with some nice upholstery in here. Maybe a little toolbox like they used to do with some oil and gas cans, which is something I would like to do for this car. It's not original to the car because it doesn't have it, but I think that's a step it would have went a little further. So definitely I'm going to get the paint work done. I'm not going to be able to do that this year when you guys are going to see the car. But I will clean this up. I will spray this chunk with a nice, I'll probably actually go back with the speckle paint. Probably spray it back with the speckle paint in here. Put a nice original mat down for now because I've actually got an old mat kicking around, a spare from my 52 Chevy hardtop. I'm not going to be opening the chunk at the show anyway, but at least if I do, this will look 100 times better and be painted. And then eventually, maybe like I say, we'll do some upholstery and put a toolbox and it'll be kind of neat. So right now I'm emptying that out. Now what I did have here, which I always knew I had, here is some of the chrome. So these are the guard shields that go down. These go down in behind on here, and they're in beautiful shape. Look at the shape they're in. So they go right on there. Anyway, I can't get it on there, and now this hole, if I'm correct, I believe that this car did have solenoid poppers in it, and I think this is where they had the popper. I remember someone telling me that it was down there. I'll have to double check that with Cort, but I'm certain that's where he said it was. These aren't even dented up. Now you notice all the chrome is missing along here. Chrome's missing along the door windows here, but I've found all that. I've got all that here. So we're going to give all this stuff to Pete at Pete's Pick and File, and hopefully Pete can help us out and polish this for us. This is the original hood chrome piece that would have been on the hood. You can see the hood's all been peaked and everything, but we'll put, let me see if I can set that there. There we go. Obviously once it's clipped down, it'll look a lot better. So we found that. So we're finding all the bits and pieces. I bought brand new wiper arms and wiper blades for this car. I did buy them. The chrome, like I said, that goes on the rockers, I couldn't find it, so I bought that brand new from Eckler's. I got a set of new peep mirrors for it, but I got to double check because I don't think Cort had peep mirrors. So we'll double check on that. But it's all good. So we're just say, and here's a horn. There's the original horn. It was chrome on the side that shows. Painted here. Now Cort did tell me that it was never fancy in the engine bay. It had a little, it started out with a 6-cylinder, and then it had a little 265 that was painted green apparently with a set of Corvette fin valve covers and I think a chrome air cleaner, and that was it. He didn't have anything too fancy on it. But I want to show you something here that I've had for years and years and years. Forever. And see, this is why I get rid of nothing, because it all comes in handy. What have we got hanging right there that I'm going to donate to this car? Original Corvette finned valve covers. So there we go. Those will be going on. So a car will not have a 265 engine in it. We're not putting a 265 in it. We're putting a brand new fully rebuilt 350 in it, and I'll just dress it up to look like a little 283. I'll put the valve covers on, I'll put the intake with the oil filler tube, all that kind of stuff. I can't get everything period correct. I can't, I can't go out searching for a 265 and try and get it perfect. But no one's ever going to know, except you guys are going to know now because I told you. Anyway, so let's get a few more bits and pieces off this car. Alright, I got the rear bumper off there. License plate holder and bracket. Kind of emptied the trunk out like you'd seen. Now we're working on the inside. That's the old foam from the seats deteriorating. But they're still good. We're not going to mess with them. So you can see the floors are solid in this car. Absolutely solid. Now, for those of you that don't know, many years ago when Terry dropped this car off with me, I've lived out here for 14 years. And 2 years after being in here, he dropped it off one day and he said, Rick, I want you to give it a tune-up and check the brakes. I want to go to want to go to a car show. We're all going to cruise down to Chehalis, Washington to Bulletproof. And I said, sure. What Terry didn't know was I had 4 weeks to do a tune-up and brakes. But in that 4 weeks, I replaced all the body mounts, and the floor was only rotten here. And I replaced it here on either side. I put a brand new, you can just see it up underneath there. I had put a brand new wiring harness in it because the wiring was shot. I went through all the brakes. I sanded the car down and I put it in this satin black. And I threw my chromies on it. And when Terry came to get the car, he pulls around the back here to my back gate and he goes, where's my car? And I go, I got it on the front lawn. We'll go up there. And when he walked around the front of the house and he saw this car, he nearly died. He fell to his knees on the front ground and he couldn't believe what he was looking at. And it wasn't a lot I had done, but I had done something for him that I know he'll never forget. I probably, honestly, deep down inside, my heart did it more for the car because I love this car that much. It means that much to me. And the fact that people are always saying Terry was never going to do anything with the car. So I did that. And I think it made people have a second look and realize that, you know what, maybe Terry never did a lot with this car, but he never did alter it. He never changed it. He never sold it, and he always hung on to it. And that right there is a lot on its own to be said. So, like I say, well, I had done that in the past, and the car never left here. After that, Terry just left the car here, and this car's been sitting in my yard for 12 years. For 12 years, and I would start it once a month. I'd give her a bath once every 3 months. I'd whip her up and down my road here because I basically live in the farmland. I couldn't really take her for a drive, no insurance, right? Not my car, but I'd whip her up and down the road to keep the fluids moving, and I always kind of looked after her. And, well, I feel really privileged to be doing this right now, to fixing this car up. It means a lot. So we got some seats out, we've got some rear door panels out, and now I'm having problems here with here. I'll go around the other side and I'll show you. I'm having some problems, and I hate this. This is one thing that GM did, which was the shittiest, pardon my language, fucking design they ever could have done. Those of you who are just watching me too, you'll learn that I swear a lot. So it is what it is. Take it or leave it. This tool, because they put them little clips in here. Now normally you would have these, which I found in the glove box. There's the glove box. I see we need a new glove box liner too. These going behind, and they make it a lot easier when you're trying to take the clip off. They kind of help a bit because they stop your tool from digging into the upholstery. I cannot get the clip off, and the upholstery is so padded I can't get in there. So what I've done in the past, and I don't really care because you can buy these new, I've drilled through these before and then had to break them away because right now I'm going to fight with it a little longer, but there's only so much you can do until you're going to start tearing the upholstery with these things. And I don't want to do that. We want to salvage all this upholstery. We don't want to touch it. Alright? So, you know, I'm very careful with stuff. Most people right now on a car like this, if this was just a car that meant nothing, was no history, honestly, I'd just fucking cut it around there and whip that door panel off and be done with it. But you can't do that. It's a piece of history. So, you can see here too when I open up the glove box. See, nothing was perfect back in the day. They painted the car. Bruce Metcalf had painted this Corvette green, I told you, but see, here's the original bronzy color. They didn't even take the time to open the glove box and spray that. It's just how it was back then. But yet you look at the pictures and you're like, oh my God, those cars are so beautiful. But that's what was going on. They weren't what they are today. There was very few Cheerler Queens back then. Back in the day, these guys, and Cort himself will tell you about this car, they only had one car. They could only afford one car, and most times that was a daily driver back and forth to work too. And then they'd spruce it up for the car show and whip it into the car show. You know how you see some people put that upholstery up on their wheel wells and that? That kind of started because people were driving the car, the wheel wells were all full of mud and shit, so they'd throw the upholstery up in there at car shows to cover up the crap. That's just how it was. So it's kind of cool to see that kind of shit going on. You can get a hint of even some of the maroon, but that's very light. You can see it there. It's very light. It was way darker. That's obviously just the first little overspray coat that's sticking in there. Like you get to see a lot of hints of what went on here, which is very, very cool. We don't want to lose stuff like that. Like honestly, I don't want to put any kind of paint in here. I want to mask this off. Not that you're ever going to see it. The kick panels are going to go on there, but it will be cool later in life, whether it be Terry or someone else, whoever ends up with this car later in life, if they ever pull a kick panel off and they're like, there's a part of history there. You know, like, I think shit like that should be left. Or some people would be like, oh no, let's detail that. Let's paint all that. whatever color we're going to do the body and detail all, where I'm like, you never see it when the kick panel's on. Let's leave that alone. It's just like back here, where I showed you later. This is how it got left when they did the body and paint. They, you know, because the Chevys, the bumper wraps around on my 52, but he ain't running that. They left it like that because it was covered with chrome. I am not going to do the body work there. I'm going to leave it like that because it was left like that when they did it. I mean, if this was my car and I was building it today, I would never leave that. I would do the body work. But they didn't then. No one saw it. It didn't matter. It was all about what you saw. Spend the time and the effort into what you see, not what you don't see. Where today, everybody goes so far out to chrome their frames and etch their frames and do all this stuff, which I gotta say, you're so talented in it, but it's so much work that is how you get trailer queens that don't get driven, because you got so much time and money into them, they don't get driven. And this was a car that actually Cort drove every day. He even drove it in the winter. He told me so himself. So let me see how I can play with these door panels a bit more and get these handles off. They're starting to frustrate me a bit, and the last thing you want to do is get frustrated. When you do get frustrated, you got to walk away and move on. So we'll see what we can happen here. Little quick added bonus for you here today. Here's a 67 Ford short box we painted, just coming out of the body shop right now. Well, not the body shop, from the paint booth. She's looking pretty. Okay guys, I got the door panel off, the old trick. You can see the drill bits there. What I do is, I know where these are. I just drill the door handle around the door handle, and then I just take a punch, or not a punch, a chisel, and I hit it, and it busts the handle and it falls off. So there we go. So here we go. We can see, let me shut this. I got some music going here. Let me shut this down. We can see that it obviously, from the looks of the car, being the chunk lid in this, it was originally like a nice blue. Look at that blue, actually. That's in very good shape. But here's what's cool. Here's a piece of history we're going to show you with you guys as we go here. This car had poppers. Look at. I see this. That's to pull the handle. So let's get this panel off. Let's see if I can film this and get you guys involved with it as I do it. Oh God, it's going to be difficult. Okay, I'm going to try and film with my left hand and get this off here. Let's just see if some parts are still left in the doors. Now, I did take a couple screws out prior to turning the camera on here, just to make it easier on myself. Let's see what we see. Oh, holy fuck. My God. That is the original poppers. Look at that. Okay, there's their wires. Oh my God. I tell you, I have so much passion about this stuff. It just, oh, I can see right now I'm pulling these wires. I see them over here. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Is this them disconnected? This looks like it could be them. I'm not too worried about destroying this because, like, let's see here. I can't tell what's going on. But, okay, they're going up. They're going up over here. Okay, let's get this panel off. This is so cool. I never knew those were still in there. There's a very good possibility that they still may work. Oh my God, that is awesome. I don't even think Terry knew they were still in there. I don't think Terry ever had the door panels off. What a shame though that somebody didn't put these on the door panels. Because when I did take the handles off, the handles from winding it over and off all the time over the years, they kind of wore the panel there. But you never see it when the door handle's on, but still, it's a shame. Whoa, okay. Oh, okay. There's a touch to that. There we go. What else we got in here? What's this? The old factory cardboard shit. This is why things rust. Because of crap like this that was put in them back in the day. We don't want that shit. We do not want that. These are the wires. So what is to stop me from disconnecting these, getting a battery, jumping on a battery and see if that bad boy still works, because it is hooked up here. Like, see? It's hooked up to open the door. I think we're gonna get a batteries, folks, and see what goes on. Okay, well, I got excited, got some wires out, and got my battery on a charger. My battery I was going to use to jump it is dead, but so while I was waiting for that, I decided to take the other door panel off, and unfortunately somebody has, bolts are missing here. You know, somebody's removed a whole inside of the solenoid. It's just gone. So there's really no point going any further. But the nice thing is I can use all this and put some new solenoids here and keep it and keep all this and keep it as original as it can be. So, and this kind of shit here you want to take out of the car. See, this is factory in here. This crap, you know, all it does is it holds the water in between, in my opinion, and it rots the cars. I see so many people, and some customers get me to do it for them, and I do whatever they want. They dynamat inside their doors because it makes it not sound so tinny sounding. Mind you, I have to keep in mind these are cars that never see the rain any day, but on all my personal cars, I dynamat the floor in that, but I don't ever dynamat the doors. It doesn't matter what you do, how many new window felts or rubbers you put in, water goes down the doors, and eventually that shit gets behind the dynamat or whatever it was. Like I say, this was like a cardboard back in the day, but it gets behind there, and what does it do? It just sits there and festers and absorbs everything and just starts to rot away. There's even more of it in here, you know. And so on this car here, we'll clean the doors out, we'll texture spray them inside, put some good epoxy primer in there, we'll texture spray them, and that's it. There'll be nothing stuck to these doors inside, because I just don't do that. But we will dynamite the hell out of the floor. So, anyway, so we got the door panels off, got all the seats off. I do have to gut the dash there and that, but I don't think I'm going to get time to do that today. I don't want to pull the tail lights out quite yet. I just want to leave them in there. So that's pretty good. We are getting things done, and everybody here gets to be involved. Weird. You look at the blue on the deck lid, not to say it hasn't been changed. Look at the blue there compared to the doors, and totally different. But if I look at that blue, it'd probably scrape under here. I don't know. We'd have to see which is more close. It looks to me, I look way up in there, the light blue matches the doors. So the deck lid might have been changed out at one time. And you'll never know until you talk to the men that built it. So there we are. Maybe I'll see what else I can do. Okay guys, one last look at the old Cort Elliot Chevy. We're going to be taking a break now for today. It's I don't know, I think it's like 4 o'clock. Got started here around 10:30. Got the interior gutted, I'm happy with that. The bumper off, found the trim that I needed to find. Yeah, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to end this video with that being said. There's going to be another video that I'm going to put up. And it's going to show you basically what I just showed you. But it was a video from 2 or 3 years ago. And I'll put a link to it, or maybe we'll just put it part of this video. I don't know. It's up to the it's up to my lady how she wants to do it. I'm no good with that stuff. I don't put the videos up. But I'm going to spend the last 2 hours of the day going back onto the Model A. So you're going to get this video, and you're going to get one of the Model A. How's that sound? The Model A is going to be a real short one, though. Only get a couple hours here. All you're going to see is just some minor things. Okay. Hey, if you guys are interested, remember this car is going to be debuting August. I'm probably getting the dates wrong here. Like I say, if you go online, Harrison Auto event list, it's either, you know what, I'll find out right now. Let's take a look at the calendar. For some reason I think it is the 27th. I think it's August 27th. I'm certain of it, because August 20th is our huge Hot Rod Field Party. Private invite only though, sorry guys. June, July, where are we here? August 27th. August 27th. Mission Raceways, BCHRA, Alan Edwards, Cort Elliot. They're all going to be there. They're cool cars. I don't know who else is going to be there. There's a lot of custom guys out there. I don't know all their names. Look their names up. I got a million things on my mind. I can't keep track of everyone. Anyway, we're going to keep doing Sunday Fun Day with the Cort Elliot Chevy. And we're going to keep going on the Model A, because I got 2 on the go. I can handle it. I can handle working all week and still work on Sundays on 2 cars. I got this covered. The whole goal is I'm going to have my Model A on the road for the 1st of June. I don't give a shit about the interior, but everything else is going to be done on it. And the 51 Chevy, the idea is to have it on the road for the 1st of August. That's it. So there we go, guys. So if you never see me on Sundays roaming around, my friends out there, you know why. I'm busy in the shop working on cars. Leave me the hell alone. See you later.